Information design. Information design is nothing but the detailed planning of specific information. It should be aimed at providing the message to a particular audience. It has to meet specific objectives. The information designer may or may not have available information architecture. It defines the overall pattern or structure. It will be imposed on the information design. An information plan that defines information units and how they are to be completed. The output of an information design is sometimes expressed in written instructions. It is also expressed in plans. Designer uses sketches to inform the message intact and colorful, using drawings and formal specification for providing information. Information design may be much less formal. Sometimes they will be applicable to very small projects also. The information design shall be distinguished from information architecture and information planning. In one view, there are three hierarchical levels of activity. Information architecture is the general set of ideas. It will be about all information in a given context. It has to be organized accordingly. It should also have audience details. In such a way, the information need to organize. For example, one might say that all of our product information should serve customer needs. It is informed as expressed by tasks. Hence, they have to do with our products. It should then develop a pattern. It has to organize all product information in modules. The output is an information architecture documents. Information planning, which focuses on all aspects. They are required to prepare and support the information of a specific set of products. It can even be a single product. Sometimes it can be an event over the product life or other time span. This practice generally includes understanding the product. It can be also goals of an event. It may be about studying the audience and their needs. It should consider possible information media also. It should also define specific information units. The matter can be presented on the books. It may be in a way of chapter-wise information. The possible information may be presented on web pages. It specifies the people who work on them, the schedule and how this work will relate to the work of others. The output is an information plan. Information design focuses more narrowly on the information itself. It basically aims at one or more information units. It may encompass the information aspects of industrial design. It ranges from labels, knobs, and the physical interface. It further elongates into various aspects. They are content design, page design, website design, illustration design, and typographic decisions. The information design shall be applied to a single work. It may be applicable for corporation's entire set of customer information. The output may be a part of an information plan. It can be a separate information design document. It can be simply designed object or set of objects. Interaction and sensorial design. Interaction design, which is essentially story creating and telling, is at once both an ancient art and a new technology. Media have always affected the telling of stories and the creation of experiences, but currently new media offer capabilities and opportunities not yet addressed in the history of interaction and performance. In particular, the demands of interactivity are often misunderstood by all but the most experienced storytellers and performers. How these skills are expressed through interactive technologies and what demands and interest audiences will have for these remains to be understood. Consequently, there are also few sources of information about these issues and the techniques used to meet them. This is new territory that is desperate for some new ideas and cogent explanations. It is also the most critical component to the success of interactive products. Sensorial design is simply the employment of all techniques with which we communicate to others through our senses. After writing visual design techniques in disciplines such as graphic design, videography, cinematography, Typography, illustration, and photography are usually the first to be recognized and employed. But the disciplines that communicate through other senses are just as important. Sound design and engineering and musical and vocal performances are also useful in the appropriate circumstances. In fact, sometimes they are the only appropriate media for communicating a particular message. Tactile, olfactory, and kinesthetic senses are rarely employed, often due to technological or market constraints, but are just as valid and can add enriching detail to an experience. The disciplines of sensorial media are worlds unto themselves, with their own histories, traditions, and concerns. To learn each well takes time and skill. Therefore, it is crucial to learn at least an overview of the important issues and techniques of each discipline, so that they can be employed properly when presenting ideas and communicating messages, especially within a team. In each of these areas, experts should participate in employing the various media in support of a project's information and interaction goals and messages. Guidelines for user interface design. The objective is to present the important practical guidelines for good user interface and screen design. It is intended as a ready reference source for all graphical and web systems. The guidelines reflect a mix of human behavior, science, and art, and are organized within the context of the interface design process. It presents an extensive series of guidelines for the interface design process. It is organized in the order of development steps typically followed in creating graphical systems or website screens and pages. The 14 steps are given here. Step 1. Know your user or client. You must have an understanding of the most important system or website components. The user or client. Understanding people and what they do is a critical and often difficult and undervalued process. The first step in the design process involves identifying people's innate and learned characteristics and understanding how they affect design. Step 2. Understand the business function. A system or website must achieve the business objectives for which it is designed. Determining basic business functions, describing user activities through task analysis, understanding users' mental model, and developing a conceptual model of the system accomplish this. The system's conceptual model must fit the user's view of the tasks to be performed. Step 2 also addresses the establishment of design standards or style guides and the definition of training and documentation needs. Step 3. Understand the principles of good interface and screen design. A well-designed screen must reflect the needs and capabilities of its users. Be developed within the physical constraints imposed by the hardware on which it is displayed, and effectively utilize the capabilities of its controlling software. Step 3 involves understanding the capabilities of and limitations imposed by people, hardware, and software in designing screens and web pages. It presents an enormous number of general design guidelines or organizing and presenting information to people. Step 4. Develop system menus and navigation schemes. Graphical systems and websites are heavily menu-oriented. Menus are used to designate commands, properties that apply to an object, documents, and windows. To accomplish these goals, a variety of menu styles are available to choose from. Step 4 involves understanding how menus are used and selecting the proper kinds of specific tasks. The principles of menu design are described, and the purpose and proper usage of various menu types are detailed. In this step, guidelines for website navigation are also presented. Topics addressed include the elements of web navigation such as links, navigation aids, and search facilities. Step 5. Select the proper kinds of windows. Graphical screen design consists of a series of windows. Step 5 involves understanding how windows are used and selecting the proper kinds for the tasks. The elements of windows are described, and the purpose and the proper usage of various types of windows are detailed. The step concludes with a discussion of web browsers. Step 6. Select the proper interaction devices. In addition to the keyboard, a system or website might offer the user a mouse, trackball, joystick, graphic tablet, touchscreen, light pen, or some other similar device. Step 6 consists of identifying the characteristics and capabilities of these various control mechanisms and providing the proper ones for users and their tasks. Step 7. Choose the proper screen-based controls. The designer is presented with an array of controls to choose from. Selecting the right one for the user and the task is often difficult. But, as with interaction devices, making the right choice is critical to system success. A proper fit between user and control will lead to fast, accurate performance. A poor fit will result in lower productivity, more errors, and often user dissatisfaction. Step 7 consists of identifying the characteristics and capabilities of these various screen-based controls and guidelines for providing the proper ones for users and their tasks. Step 8. Write clear text and messages. Creating text and messages in a form the user wants and understands is absolutely necessary for system acceptance and success. Step 9. Provide effective feedback, guidance, and assistance. Effective feedback, guidance, and assistance are also necessary elements of good design. Step 10. Provide effective internationalization and accessibility. People from different cultures and people who speak different languages may use graphical systems and websites. People with disabilities may also be users. The user interface should provide accessibility to all kinds of users. Step 11. Create meaningful graphics, icons, and images. Knowledge about various types of graphics and icons available, factors influencing their usability, will help the designer to design a meaningful user interface. Step 12. Choose the proper colors. Colors, if used properly, can emphasize the logical organization of a screen, facilitate the discrimination of screen components, accentuate differences, and make displays more interesting. If used improperly, colors can be distracting and cause visual fatigue, impairing a system's usability. Organize and lay out windows and web pages. After determining all the components of a screen or page, the screen or page must be organized and its elements presented clearly and meaningfully. Proper presentation and organization encourages the quick and accurate comprehension of information and the fastest possible execution of user tasks. Step 14. Test, test, and retest. A host of factors must be considered in design and numerous trade-offs will have been made. Indeed, the design of some parts of the system may be based on skimpy data and simply reflect the most educated guess possible. Also, the implication for some design decisions may not be fully appreciated until the results can be seen. Waiting until after a system has been implemented to uncover any deficiency and make any design changes can be costly and time-consuming. To minimize these kinds of problems, interfaces and screens must be continually tested and refined as development proceeds. Dialogue design. Dialogue is the syntactic level of human-computer interaction. Like a script, except users and computer have more choices. Dialogue is linked. Semantics and presentation. Much human dialogue, unstructured grammar rules stop at sentence level and sometimes before. Examples of structured form of human conversation, script for play and marriage service. Dialogue with a computer is relatively structured and constrained, unlike in movies such as Star Trek. Structure of conversation between the user and computer system. Languages have three levels: lexical, syntactic, semantic. Describe language at syntactic level but must be linked to semantics for implementation. Dialogue semantics. Purpose of dialogue description. Communicate with other designers. Tool for thought early in design. For semantics, we leave reader to infer, annotate dialogue notations with intended meaning of actions. Formalize for a contract or prototype. Cognitive walkthrough. Human-computer interaction. HCI or CHI. Usability is a combination of a user's task, a user's skills or experience, the system's interface. Human-computer interface. This means of communication between a human user and a computer system, referring in particular to the use of input or output devices with supporting software. Devices of increasing sophistication are becoming available to mediate the human-computer interaction. These include graphic devices, touch-sensitive devices, and voice input devices. They have to be configured in a way that will facilitate an efficient and desirable interaction between a person and the computer. Artificial intelligence techniques of knowledge representation may be used to model the user of a computer system, and so offer the opportunity to give personalized advice on its use. The design of the machine interface may incorporate expert system techniques to offer powerful knowledge-based computing to the user. HCI is a branch of the science of ergonomics and is concerned especially with the relationship between workstations and their operators. The aim is to develop acceptable standards for such aspects as display resolution, use of color, and navigation around an application. More seriously, determine whether links are understandable, calculate vector lengths to semantic space. Functionality is not enough. For an interface to be a success, it must provide the right functionality at the right time, in the right place, and in the right form from the user's point of view. Such interfaces are called usable. Usability testing, the process of ensuring that a user interface is usable. Example, when designing an ATM, each user action should be justified. Insert card, enter PIN, press quick cache key, press OK, remove card, remove money, remove receipts. Cognitive walkthrough introduction. The cognitive walkthrough is one way to test the usability of interactive software. It focuses on users' tasks, systems interface. The cognitive walkthrough may be used without real users, example, proposed versus actual tasks, before a system is implemented. Cognitive walkthrough procedure. Define the inputs. Gather the walkthrough team. Walk through the action sequences for each task. Record critical information. Revise the interface to fix the problems. Repeat. Performing the cognitive walkthrough. Define the inputs. Identify users and tasks. Create a description, screenshots, storyboard, or implementation, a rapid prototype of the interface. Define the action sequence for completing each task. Gather the team. Facilitator maintains the pace of the discussion. Scribe records the information. Problems and suggested solutions. Assumptions about tasks and user skills. Participants walk through, discuss the tasks with respect to the interface, prototypes or screenshots, and action sequences. Record critical information, the credible success or failure story, assumption about tasks and user skill, problems and suggested solutions. Revise the interface to fix the problems. Re-implement rapid prototype or create new screenshots. Repeat. Designing the correct interface requires iteration. Proposed solutions may turn out to be wrong also. Inverting a portion of an image. Users. We want novice users of Photoshop to be able to invert selections of an image with little or no training. Assume that users have had experience with other imaging programs. Tasks. Select a sub-region of an image and invert it. Interface. We have screenshots from the latest version of the product. Action sequences. Zoom display to area of interest. Select the Lasso tool. Select the sub-region of the image. Select Inverse from the image menu. Photoshop interface. Select the sub-region of the image. Select the Inverse from the image menu. Description of interface. Photoshop presents a toolbar, far left, vertically arranged. Assume that novice users are unfamiliar with the toolbar's icons. The image. Zoom in on face. A control panel, far right. Assume that novice users are unfamiliar with the operation and purpose of the control panel. Action. Zoom in on image. What's the user's goal and why? The user wants to specify the portion of the image to invert exactly. Zooming in on the region of interest helps to increase the accuracy of the selection. Is the action obviously available? The default tool in Photoshop is the Zoom tool. If the user has just started Photoshop, it's the current tool. Novice users may have to search for this tool on the toolbar if they need it later on. This tool uses the magnifying glass as its icon. Does the action or label match the goal? No label involved here. However, magnifying glass icon represents task well. Clicking on image zooms the tool. Dragging on image specifies zoom region more accurately. Assume novice users will click rather than drag, despite screenshot. Is there good feedback? Yes. Photoshop instantly zooms the image. Select Lasso tool. Select Lasso tool from the toolbar. What's the user's goal and why? They need a tool to select a portion of the image. Is the action obviously available? They are familiar with the Lasso tool from other image programs. The Lasso icon is available at the top of the toolbar, increasing the chance that will be seen. The tooltip provides confirmation of the icon's information. Does the action or label match the goal? Tooltip serves as a label and confirms the meaning of the familiar Lasso icon. Is there good feedback? Not shown, but toolbar icon highlights when selected. Select image. Select a partition of the image. Select the image. What's the user's goal and why? Select a portion of the image. Is the action obviously available? Assume novice user is familiar with using the Lasso tool. Does the action or label match the goal? Yes, the Lasso tool's sole purpose is selecting regions. Select an invert operation. Is there good feedback? Yes, the Lasso tool produces a rubber band that indicates the current selection. Select Invert tool to invert the image. Invert the image. What's the user's goal and why? The overall task is to invert a region of the image. Is the action obviously available? No. Previous experience will lead them to look for actions in the menus. Operation complete. Does the action or label match the goal? Yes, but the invert operation is buried in a submenu called Adjust within the image menu. Novice users may look for the command in the Edit menu. Is there a good feedback? Yes, the image inverts. Walkthrough results. A walkthrough does not necessarily generate a lot of suggestions per task. Location within the requirement phase. More suggestions common at the beginning. Task dependent. Certain problems may only be revealed by a particular type of task. User skill level. Does the program try to support both novice and expert users? Photoshop, for example, has traditionally focused on expert users. Other usability attributes. Nielsen, 1993. Learnability allows users to begin work quickly. Efficiency. enables a high degree of productivity. Memorability does not require retraining when use is infrequent. Errors. Mistakes are infrequent, easy to recover from. Satisfaction. Enjoyable to work with. Usability testing. Discount usability testing. Nielsen. Usability testing can be done in a cost-effective manner. As a result, many organizations have usability labs. Microsoft, Intuit. Sun, usability engineer is a job title. Case studies. We present a detailed case study drawn from many information sources. A computer scientist learning and using cognitive walkthroughs to assess a multimedia authoring tool. This study results in several clear messages to both system designers and to developers of evaluation techniques. This technique is currently learnable and usable, but there are several areas where further method development would greatly contribute to a designer's use of the technique. In the emergent picture of the process, this evaluator went through to produce. His analysis sets realistic expectations for other novice evaluators who contemplate learning and using cognitive walkthroughs. Different Android applications. O really makes some of the best tech books, so we are excited to hear about their new title, Best Android Apps, the guide for discriminating downloaders. Here are 10 of those best Android apps for 10 different activities. Even better, integrates with Google Docs and Google Maps to record all of your running data so you can show off to your friends. Best Twitter app, Seismic. If you choose the desktop or web version of Seismic, you will love this app. It's clean and very intuitive to use and packs a whole lot of features into a tiny little app. You can use your Bitly username and API key, making it easy to track your tweeted short URLs and resulting clicks. You can also set all sorts of notifications to alert you about various updates and messages. Best app to consolidate your phones. Google Voice gives you a single phone number that rings all your phones, saves your voicemail online and transcribes your voicemail to text. Other features include listening on messages while they are being left, recording calls, low-cost international calls, recording custom greetings for your favorite callers, and blocking annoying callers by marking them as spam. Best app for sending email. K9 Mail is an excellent free and open source email client that can handle IMAP, POP, WebDAV, and some not so finicky Exchange servers. This app is an improved and full-featured version of the Mail app that comes with your Android phone. You have control over how often you poll for messages and the number of messages to display. One particularly cool feature is Notes Nearby, which lets you find notes that was written near your current GPS location. You can quickly add a text note, audio note, photo snapshot or file, upload to your library from any of your devices. Evernote. The notes that you take with Evernote app can be accessed from both your Android device and your computer. Android applications for playing songs. This is great for settling bar bets and perfect for filling out. All the info for your friend's mix CD that imported with helpful songs names like track 1. Android applications for audio and videos. It has the uncanny ability to recognize the track, tells you pretty much anything you need to know about it. Android phone. We scored the Android market to find the best apps that will make your phone uniquely yours and help to make you more productive, creative, and happy. If you can't find a particular app in the market, search the web to see whether you can download a copy from the developer's websites. There is another nice thing about Android phones. There is no strange hold on how you get your apps. They are available directly from the developer as well as from the market. Cost. Best app for running, MyTracks. Hardcore runners no longer need to shell out hundreds of dollars for an expensive GPS watch. Talking Tom. Top cat is in the house. Talking Tom. The cat, the myth, the legend. He is the center of the Talking Tom. About Tom. Tom is a street smart, always ready to whittle. His life is full of adventure and happenings. He loves trying out new things and he never says no. Unless the question is, do you want to quit now? Characteristics. He is also a cat who loves his friends more than anything. He is not afraid to pull out all the stops. He never gives up. And he will stick by your side no matter what. My Talking Tom. Adopt your very own baby Tom. Feed him, play with him and nurture him from a cute kitten to a fully grown tomcat. Play with him like a never before and watch as he becomes a part of your everyday life. So, about 4 weeks ago, I started writing a simple maze RPG Rouge using whatever existing model and stuff I could find. Detailed description. Outfit 7. The entertainment company that created Talking Friends, Talking Tom, Talking Angela, Jiggly Jigsaw Puzzles, etc. launched the most customizable and creative version of the world's most popular cat, which is Talking Tom, with the release of its new app, My Talking Tom. The goal. The goal of this app is to nurture your very own Tom, play games with him, feed him his favorite foods, and tuck him into bed. Enjoy lifelike emotions. Tom can be happy, hungry, sleepy, bored. His emotions can change according to how you play with him. Unleash your creativity. Create your very own Tom by choosing from thousands of combinations of furs, clothing, and furniture. Get rewards as you progress. Helps Tom grow through 9 different stages and 50 levels, unlocking new items and coins as you go. Interact with Tom. Talk, and Tom still repeats everything you say. Poke, stroke, and tickle him, and watch how he responds. Advantages. My Talking Tom joins the Talking Tom and Friends family that has achieved 170 million monthly active users, over 1.2 billion downloads, 725 million views on YouTube, downloads in 230 countries and territories. Cool graphics and really addictive and funny game. Many choices of food, furs, furniture, etc. It is a free game. You can easily earn coins and you do not have to buy them with real money. Disadvantages. My Talking Tom has more interactive spots. For example, when you touch the TV, Tom could say something. All that you could make this app even better. Furthermore, points would be added if there was 2 more mini games for more coins. For example, when Tom goes to toilet, he could read a book and play a mini game. But still, we must say that My Talking Tom app is one of the best free apps. Also, as a free game has a lot of advertisements, ads that are annoying, but we can understand that the developer is trying to make a living somehow and yet give us a free app. Monkey traps. If you put a banana in a jar and make a hole in the side of the jar that is big enough for a monkey's hand but not big enough for a banana, and affix the jar to a tree in a jungle, you will come back in the morning to find the poor little monkey clinging to banana, trapped by its own desires. Design space is filled with monkey traps. In fact, it's jungle full of jars containing sparkling gems and scrumptious treats. that is game mechanics that can't be removed from their tantalizing display cases. If they can't be removed, what is the goal of the game designer? They suggest that the jars are packed so closely that anybody can touch but not remove multiple prizes at the same time. The user, the player, get to keep whatever they are touching. The game developer's goal then is to find a well-matched set of prizes which are all within reach of each other.